So for the reflective practitioner, using John's structured model of reflection is essentially then a guide to analysis for the reflective practitioner. And this is analysis of a particular incident. What you'll see in the literature is this described as a critical incident for the reflective practitioner. And what this model enables the individual teacher do is focus on key stages of reflection separately in order to reflect in a very meaningful and analytical way. And the useful thing about the stage model, and perhaps the reason why it's so popular, is although it can look at critical incidents, it can also be used in a very general way, but within general situations, looking at the complexity of those situations, the complexity of decision-making and actions that take place, as well as the complexity of the analytical process itself. And by breaking down the reflection process into clearly defined stages, this simplifies the complex nature of the process for the teacher and enables critical reflection to take place. And John's model is therefore a model which lends itself to collaboration with others. And indeed, in order for this high level of analysis to take place within this structured process, it is considered that the individual practitioner could usefully use a supervisor or some other, like a mentor within the school, in order to reflect on, to consider the learning experience that they're having from the events which are taking place in the classroom. And Johns refers to this supervisor role in terms of the staged model as a process of guided reflection. And this recognizes the fact that the staged model is therefore not such a lone exercise, a solitary exercise for the teacher, but is used most productively as a collaborative process where a practitioner is working with a supervisor, a mentor, or some other. And what Johns recommends is that this whole process is recorded in order to aid the supervision process. And therefore, the structured model actually becomes a model for structuring diary or log entries for the reflective practitioner. And what this means is that the individual teacher is looking at their experiences, sharing their reflections and learning from their experiences. And because they are sharing and discussing those experiences and discussing their learning, this leads to much deeper understanding of their roles as professionals and helps the individual reflective practitioner build up a professional identity. And what is useful to consider here is that there are particular ways for this deep understanding to be acquired. And Johns uses Carper's 4 patterns of knowing in terms of the reflection process. And these patterns are about aesthetics, personal patterns of knowing, ethics, and empirics. And added to this, Johns adds reflexivity. So the important point to understand here is that this staged model provides an epistemological foundation for the reflective practitioner. This means that they are beginning to understand how they know about their role as teachers in the classroom and understand their roles as teachers and the students' roles as learners. And therefore, by using this model, we're able to develop a set of cue questions which guide thinking through the aesthetic aspects of knowing, as well as the personal and ethical and empirical aspects of knowing. And this also can lead to reflexive patterns of knowing for the reflective practitioner.